part 2, ladies and gentlemen. They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. The Foster Memorial. Dedicated to the fallen of the First World War, this memorial bears the unnamed effigy of Lieutenant Alfred Henry Foster of the 2nd Dragoons Royal Scots Greys, second son of the late Lord Foster, Governor-General of Australia, who died in 1919 from wounds sustained at the end of that war. This memorial was endowed by His Royal Highness Edward Prince of Wales in 1925. The bronze is the work of sculptor Cecil Thomas, who was wounded at about the same time as Alfred, with whom he became great friends whilst in hospital after the war. Lord and Lady Foster commissioned Cecil Thomas to design a memorial to Alfred and his elder brother John, who also died in World War I. This is one of 4 copies of the bronze, each with individual inscriptions. Because of the church's connections with Toc H, it was Lord Foster's wish that this version should not be a solely personal memorial. Therefore, it bears no name or badge. Instead, the inscription is from Lawrence Binion's poem, "They shall not grow old, as we grow old. They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn." The other 3 bronzes are in St Catherine's Exbury, St John's Southend and Newcastle Cathedral, Australia. Really is a beautiful church, it's absolutely lovely. Now we shall go to one of the most amazing features of all. I'll point you up a minute so I don't film anyone. Where we go? It's through here. Oh, I'll just get this stained glass window without capturing anyone. That's lovely, look. City of London. And here, it opened up for the first time so we can actually walk through it. Since my last visit, the gates were closed. It's a Saxon Arch. The Saxon Arch. After the abandonment of the Roman city of Londinium at the beginning of the 5th century, the main focus of the Thames trading settlement of Londonvic was further upriver, near the modern-day Strand and Covent Garden. Roman buildings within the city walls were left to fall down and plundered for building materials. However, the increasing prevalence of Danish raiders over the next 4 centuries meant that much of this population gradually relocated within the old Roman walls for the protection, and so the locus of the settlement eventually returned to the old eastern location. It is doubtful that for the first structure upon All Hallows Church, it is doubtful, 6. I'm trying to think. It is doubtful that the first structure upon All Hallows Church site would have been of stone. It was more likely that Bishop Erkenwald, that's the brother of St Ethelberger who founded Barking Abbey, consecrated a wooden building in 675. However, this arch, lost for so many centuries, has been tentatively dated to the late 7th century. So a stone building seems to have been erected not long after the establishment of the parish church. For its time, the arch is quite large, indicating quite a large building on the site. It is estimated that the Saxon church would have been roughly the width of a modern nave, as far as the sanctuary step in length. The arch was discovered after the bombing of World War II destroyed much of the church. A wall that had hidden the structure for centuries was blasted away, revealing this treasure. It is the oldest surviving Saxon arch in the city of London. The top of the arch has no keystones, comprises of Roman floor tiles. The builders were obviously recycling building materials from Roman remains of the city, or the vicinity. That's amazing. Wow. And we shall walk back through the arch because there's the Baptistry which I want to show you. This is the Baptistry. The Baptistry. The Grinling Gibbons font cover was given to the parish in 1682 by James Foyle, who paid the sum of £12. It is made of lime wood and intricately carved. Cherubs, garlands of fruit, ears of wheat, and a dove. The original font, which William Penn was baptised, is now in Christ Church, Philadelphia. The present font was carved by a Sicilian prisoner of war and is a memorial to the tunnellers of the Royal Engineers. The Baptistry was rebuilt after the war in memory of Commander W.C. Northcott, Royal Navy. The two modern windows were made by Keith New in memory of Martin de Selincourt and given by his wife Nancy during the post-war reconstruction. This is also the place where the Rees Corps Memorial Book is kept. That's better. It was a bit blurry then, wasn't we? And this is the Baptistry. Grinling Gibbons, that's a very, very famous man. Most of you will know that, well, a lot of you will. Saxon Arch, which we shall go back through. First Steps, this artwork is called. By John Robinson, 4th of May 1935 to 6th of April 2007. can smell it. Adoration of the Magi, school of Paul Rubens, circa 1650 to 1690. Where this painting came from and how it came to be here in All Hallows is something of a mystery. It has been conserved by the Cultural Institute, who suggest that the extensive damage that they repaired could have occurred during the damage of World War II bombings on the church, which would indicate that it was here in the church prior to 1940. There is no archival information beyond this suggestion. However, the conservation process has revealed many things. Not only has the piece been retouched and revarnished more than 7 times in its life, but much overpainting, changing and colours of fabrics in the picture has been removed and the original colours revealed. This image itself is a close copy of Peter Paul Rubens' early work of 1609, The Adoration of the Magi, known as the Adoration of the Torches, currently to be seen in the Church of St. Johannes in Mechelen, Belgium. But this piece is a mirror image of that, suggesting that this was made after a print or engraving of the Mechelen work. Research shows that All Hallows painting is most likely the 1620 engraving of this scene by Luca Vosterman, who worked with Rubens' studio and was his primary engraver. The scene depicts the visit of the infant Christ, the visit to the infant Christ of the wise men, the Magi, also known as the Three Kings. They bring 3 gifts: gold, frankincense and myrrh. A body of iconography has grown up around this biblical incident and the figures in it. In fact, there is no mention in St. Matthew's Gospel of the actual number of Magi. It is only the fact that there were 3 gifts in the account that this idea has been perpetuated. Their names are also unrecorded, but they are traditionally commonly known as Caspar, Melchior and Balthazar, each one representing an age of man and a continent. Balthazar represents Africa and youth, and his colour is green. Melchior represents middle age and Asia, and his colour is red. Caspar represents old age and Europe, and his colour is yellow. A further surprising discovery is that there is also another image beneath the paint of this one. The portrait of a lady is almost life-sized, wearing a large white ruff and a round white cap with a black white-shouldered dress. The fashion dates the image to the late 16th to early 17th century in the Low Countries. It seems that the painting was incomplete, as X-rays show no further work beyond the head and shoulders of the figure, which are located quite high up in the canvas, indicating that a torso, at least, had been originally planned. If never completed, the canvas had been re-prepared before being painted over with the adoration scene. That's fascinating, isn't it?
Excuse me.
A real piece of history.
Oh, you should go upstairs. Yes. Through these glass doors. Not through these doors. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Absolutely lovely. There's the history boards over here. I'll take pictures of these and you can have a look at those in your own leisure time. So,
our Redford, who was the Reverend here after the First World War and through the Second World War, attended Clinton, who was actually buried just right over there. He had a lot of connections with some of the merchant marines and things, and his natives, they would live in ships. So there are tons of ships.
and on this door, Right. Join me for part 3, which will be the crypt after you see the little end bit of this one, which I hope you're going to like. So off we go. Lovely sounding organ. Now you will join me for the crypt chapel museum. Bit of everything this one. So. No, you won't. The church is closed to the public now, but they've got a Christmas Carol concert going on in there, which if you watch the church crypt tour thing, you'll hear the practicing of that. It was lovely. They had the Salvation Army band playing as well, and the church organ, which was mighty fine and pretty, y'all. I do like to see a church all lit up nicely at night time. This is a lovely one. Now, I shall walk you around for some nice views, pointing you up, because there are people by the door, so I keep to around on my phone actually. See the statues of the saints up there. And we, my friends, go around this way. All Hallows. I'll take you around somewhere quite nice. This is one of the modern parts of London, but it looks fine. It looks well enough, I suppose. And you've got the old, you've got the old Tudory side of the church. Founded 675 AD, the oldest church in the city. This one and St Bartholomew's the Great have rows with each other about which is the oldest. Because this is heavily repaired, of course, so yeah. That's through the Queen Mother Centre into the cafe and all that, but I'm not taking you there. Where I'm taking you, it's mighty fine and pretty, y'all. Have one little sweep around this. I got asked not to film here once during the not the recent light show I did at the Tower of London, the first original one that was on the exterior. There we go. Yeah. Done the stairs up. Am I in the right place? Yeah. Cool. This has all been tarted up. Used to reek a piss last time I came here, and the stairs weren't that great. One of the entrances down into the old subway. Just over there is another entrance down into the old Tower Hill train station, abandoned. One which Luke has longed to do for quite some time, but alas. British Transport Police, they don't mess around. So I do not fancy getting arrested. Inside the church at the moment is a Christmas carol event going on. Same as St Margaret Patton's, that's another Christmas carol one going on as well. So we get some nice evening views of the church. Such a shame that the original was so badly damaged in the Second World War. There we are. See a bit of the stained glass, and the pre-damaged church, it was to the top of that spire that Samuel Pepys climbed after the Great Fire of London to survey the damage that had been done. Now, I shall end us off with something nice, shall we say? Also another location that featured in the Samuel Pepys Great Fire of London saga. The Tower of London. When Samuel Pepys got up onto one of the high places to survey how bad the fire was when it was happening, this is where he went. All Hallows by the Tower is where he went after the fire had happened. You can see Tower Bridge. And what we came here for, our lovely All Hallows by the Tower. Hope you've enjoyed this one, and with that we'll be off into the past for some historical images, so join me for that bit now. And here we see the old All Hallows Church, the one that Samuel Pepys and earlier generations and those up to World War II would have known. This is all pretty much wiped away by the Second World War. When you see the image, you'll see why. It was more or less a complete rebuild. This is the earliest image I can find of it. This is 1736, and as you can see, it's got a churchyard with it, which we're not used to seeing nowadays, because where the churchyard is taken up by the courtyard and everything that we ended off with our end scenes from, that we saw Tower Bridge and the Tower from. And underneath that courtyard is a KFC, part of the old abandoned railway station, the Tower Hill. But yeah, this is it in 1736. 18th century, this one. And you can see it's got its original bell tower. Some bits survive, like the end bit with the window, the front, the bones of it survived, shall we say, to some degree. This is All Hallows by the Tower in 1803 by artist C. John M. Wichelow, with of course its graveyard again. Here you see it in 1819. All Hallows Church, 1837 by artist John Lecoux. And this is it from a slightly different angle. It's a very full churchyard at this point. And we get an interior shot from the same artist, same year, 1837. And this shows you the interior. (1840) now, by J. Cook. A nice little watercolour. And these are brilliant. North Chancel, aisle looking east, circa 1910. These photos show us the original interior of the church, which of course we cannot see nowadays. So it's great to be able to see these. And they are by William F. Taylor. South aisle looking east, circa 1910. Of course by William F. Taylor. And you see the original pews and everything it had. In this image here, if you watch the crypt video, the great hoist for the font, that you see the font here with the Grinling Gibbons font cover, the great hoist for that is down in the crypt. Thank goodness that the Grinling Gibbons font cover was put away safely for the war. That survives. And this shows the chancel and the high altar as it was in circa 1910. Oh, here's a nice little portrait, and this is an interior of All Hallows Barking, illustration for Beautiful Britain, Tower of London, by A and C Black, 1916. So this is during the middle of the First World War, and you can see it with its old baptistry in place. Another early 20th century. This is either prior to World War I or up to 1920s, so let's say 1910 to 1920s. See its little clock tower there, which it was repaired and still survives. We've got the figures above the doorway. It's nice that some elements of it survived. And this is what happened in 1940. As you can see, everything behind it is just a blown up building site with some interesting, what look like vaults or something there. If you look right over to the bottom right, they're probably parts or vaults or crypts or things from the old graveyard. But that bomb, this is what it did. You can see pretty much total destruction. They had to rebuild. 1947, this image. 1947 again. And this is the reconstruction in process in 1955. See the church and the tower in this lovely old photo. And that leaves us with the church that we see today. We may not, for health and safety reasons and insurance reasons, be able to go into the bell tower, but due to one of the church's websites, a little treat for you. So we'll end off with this.